We embrace technology readily every single day, from our personal laptops to our mobile phones to driving in our cars. But how much do we really understand about the science behind this technology, the backbone behind the research which allows us to enjoy that technology? I'm here with a man who considers public engagement with science to be absolutely vital. During his long and distinguished and exciting career, he has been committed to bringing science to the masses. I'm here tonight with Lord Winston. Lord Winston, welcome. Lord Winston, it seems that you have a passion for trying to understand us, mankind, how we work, why we do what we do, whether it be as individuals or as societies or as a species. In your opinion, what makes us special, if indeed we are?
Well, I'm not sure I have a passion about it, but I think passion is quite a strong word, really. I wouldn't even say it's even the basis of the work I do. I think it's important, though, for scientists to understand their humanity. I think that's very important. And I think one of the issues for me very much is the nature of what is unique about the human species, which is partly, I think, inquisitiveness. And I think it's partly to the way we use language, because I think that our inventiveness actually comes from the way we use symbols which are derived from language to some extent. And I mean, that's somewhat controversial. What makes us what we are? Well, I don't know if that... I mean, it's something which I've written a lot about, but I wouldn't claim to be anything other than merely an armchair philosopher. So,
But something you have looked at, science and the way mankind looks at science and develops through science. Human beings have readily embraced technology as part of their natural evolution. Especially in the 21st century, we are very familiar with technology, but are we as familiar with the science behind these advances?
Well, you say that humans have developed technology, but of course that's one of the points about being humans, because humans are probably the only species that's really genuinely developed technology, although it is true that some species have learned to make some tools to make other tools, but that's pretty limited stuff. Actually, humans are unique because I think we're the only species that developed technology which actually changed our own evolution. The hand axe clearly changed our evolution because it gave us meat, and it gave us the ability, the need to communicate in groups when we hunted. And that, of course, influenced massively the development of the brain, which is unique to the human. And, of course, the meat supplied the lipids, which made the growth of the brain possible. And I suppose the interesting thing about our technology is that we're now on the brink of technology in the 21st century where we could actually change our evolution again by, for example, modifying our own genome. I mean, the possibility of doing that is one very good example of where technology might lead us. And I suppose one of the issues for me, which is something I've been writing about recently, it's in a book which I'm publishing in 3 weeks' time called Bad Ideas. It's a large history of technology. And it argues that every piece of technology we've invented has increased much of our well-being, but it also has a downside which could destroy us. And each piece of technology from the hand axe onwards gets more and more dangerous. And the book goes right through to nanotechnology and synthetic biology and the other things that we're now doing. I'm not arguing against those technologies, but I'm arguing, as you kind of suggest in your question, that we need to be thinking much more clearly about how we control the technology we produce. And I think, essentially, that cannot be left to governments or to scientists. It's got to be something which has got to be done as a compact with our society. When we do something, as scientists, when we discover something, we have to recognise the way we do it, or the implementation of what is done, will have effect on everybody, not just us, and can be negative. So, to my mind, public engagement is now extremely important. The communication of science becomes an absolute necessity, and also the need to listen to the public much more about their fears, anxieties, hopes for the science that we do, and to recognise that the science that people like me do in a university, like most science anywhere in this country, is actually their science because they've paid for it. You know, it's taxpayers. It's a research grant from a research body. It's almost certainly going to be part of public money.
The problem often is, though, that unless science directly affects us, that people do tend to dismiss or misunderstand science. I mean, what practical measures can scientists take to make sure that people do?
Well, I'm not sure you're right about that. I actually think that public don't misunderstand science much. I think that we rather underestimate how well the public can understand science, and I think the onus is on us, really, to ensure that we make certain that we provide the information which enables them to understand it. Because there is a risk we can underestimate the ability of the average person to make very valuable judgments about the science. I think you see that everywhere. For example, it's quite interesting, when there was a BSE epidemic years ago, the sight of John Selwyn Gummer, the then Minister for Agriculture, feeding his little girl with a beef burger, didn't allay public fear that this might be dangerous, because people are wise. And when government says MMR carries no risk at all, the triple vaccine, a lot of people decided not to have their babies vaccinated. Well, actually, in fact, you can understand that if you begin to see it from the point of view of a mother who has an ethical responsibility to her baby, understanding that there might actually be a danger. Although, of course, the dangers which have been described by one scientist were completely untrustworthy.
Lord Winston, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.